Buckle up because this is going to be one of the craziest rides of your life. Have you heard of RRR? Some people call it Triple R, but I, however, call it RRR, so it sounds like I'm eating corn on the cob. RRR. It's a movie about the greatest bromance life could ever possibly offer. I'm serious. No friendship is greater than what you're about to see. This movie is every possible genre. It's got action, romance, comedy, war. It's even a musical. This is probably one of the movies of all time. If you're a silly fool who only watches English-speaking movies, then get out of your comfort zone just this once to experience the greatest journey of a lifetime. It's also in English on Netflix, so I guess I'm also a geezer, but for the sake of the video, I watched it as it was intended. The movie starts off with a warning saying that no horses, oxen, birds, tigers, wolves, bears, leopards, deer, fish, and snake didn't get harmed in the making of this movie. Wow, what a lineup. So we already know that this is going to be a good movie. We see Big Ben and his gooners getting some free ink from a native child. What a fucking sentence. While tattooing, the kid sings a pretty groovy song that enchants the British queen. She asks if she can keep the kid, and Big Ben says sure, and they just drive off like it's nothing. The mother tries to stop them, but before she could save her, one of the British guards hits a home run on her head. Now we have one of our main Giga Chads. This dude is a motherfucking god. Nobody can kill him. No one can even compete with him. His name is Raju, and he is currently a British soldier in the middle of a complete shit show. A massive riot is going on, and one of the rioters throws a rock and breaks a picture. This dude isn't having it and says a very sensual and seductive, "Bring him to me." All the other soldiers cower at the massive opposition, but not our guy Raju. This big man dives right in and starts eating ass and kicking dick. He goes up against all of India. It's 1 versus 1,000,000 and our guy is winning. He gets kicked, bit, grabbed, and straight mollywhopped, but nothing's stopping him. Armed with only a stick, the death toll keeps piling up. He gets hit over the head with a rock, but do you think that's going to stop him? If you think so, what are you, like a dummy? Nothing is stopping this man's wrath. The red guy knows he's in trouble and he's running for his life, but deep down he knows he's not getting away. Raju uses a Mario Kart shortcut and it falls from the weight of everybody. On the cliff, our legend uses his mighty rod to send enemies falling to their demise like it's nothing. He's able to secure the red guy, but not without going down the cliff too. But don't forget, he's him. He uses the riders as shields to break his fall, then gets up with the hooligan and fights through the crowd. This is the greatest intro in a movie I have ever seen. Suck my ass, Marvel. Learn from this guy. He brings him to the military general and everyone is scared of him, even the admiral. This man, this sex symbol represents fire. Remember that. A promotion ceremony is going on and the British goobers choose Pillsbury Doughboy instead of our main man, Raju. After all that, he doesn't get promoted. Raju's furious and I would be too, so he breaks the balls on a punching bag and shatters my dreams of ever being ripped. A representative from the village in the beginning begs for the girl back and warns them that he'll get their Giga Chad to get her back himself. Now we see a sick shot of the guy who represents water. We meet the man himself, Beam. This man pours blood on his head to lure a wolf. The wolf chases him and it follows closely, but Beam's parkour skills are just too goated. He sees animal tracks while running, which turns out to be a tiger, and it tries to pounce on him, but he's just too sexy with it. Now he has to run away and Beam uses a log to rotate the tiger. They use a Scooby-Doo tactic to catch the tiger, but the sticks holding it together breaks. So like the absolute unit he is, he grabs onto the rope and yells at the tiger. Yeah, who's the alpha now?
I am now the alpha.
That doesn't work out in the end. Whoops. So he throws an avocado at the tiger, which knocks him out. Now you may think our boy lives in the jungle, but no, he's just a mechanic. A British soldier comes and says that his bike needs to be repaired, and all he had to do was start it like a normal person. Doing so rizzes up the schmuck's girlfriend, and the guard gets jealous and does something about it. What a fool. Does he know who he's messing with? In the next scene, the British queen from the beginning says that if someone can take out Beam, they'll be promoted to special officer. How are they going to catch the man, the myth, the legend, Beam? I mean, a mousetrap might work. Raju, being a Chad he is, says, do you want him dead or alive? Some officers are doing ID inspections and Beam sees a white woman and falls in love. A friend of Beam's asks Raju for help, not realizing he's an officer, and when he finds out, he does a graceful skip to buckle my shoe the fuck out of there and loses Raju in a sea of people. Now we have another absolute banger of a scene. There's a train dripping oil that catches on fire and there's a kid stuck in the water. Raju and Beam both signal to each other to take action. The Giga Chad gets on the horse and the badass hops on a motorcycle. They both grab some rope and I think things are about to get kinky. They both tie the end of the rope to their torsos and ride their vehicle at full speed on separate sides of the bridge. Beam's able to grab the kid and toss him to Raju, and in return he passes him a flag. For some extra swagger, Beam uses the flag to negate the flames until he's able to do an epic handshake above the flames with Raju. They realize they have a true bromance going on, so they show a 5-minute montage of them being all cute together. Raju goes around asking people if they've seen this man, and Raju notices that Beam's got a hard-on for the British girl. Raju sabotages her car by dropping a bunch of nails in front of it so she gets a flat tire, and they're conveniently waiting on a nearby bench to say, "Aha, what up, girl?" Raju gives Beam some lessons in Riz Academy, but he doesn't know that Beam invented Riz. They talk but find out Beam doesn't speak English. That's not stopping our boy because the reasoning works and Beam gets her to go on an adventure. When I watched this in English, it felt like I was watching Forrest Gump try to make a conversation. We learn the girl's name is Jenny, and she says that there's a little girl is staying with them, and Beam's like, "Oh, I bet that's the girl I'm looking for." Then makes a gift for her so she knows it's him. He gets invited to go clubbing, and they show up looking rather dashing. Jenny sees him and just completely rejects Whitey. She teaches him how to slow dance, and he immediately steps on her gown. Finkelberg gets jealous and trips him, then proceeds to call him a wanka. He says that these people don't know art or dance, then starts doing the white boy shuffle. Raju comes to save the day and sets down one of the sickest beats on SoundCloud. This has got to be one of the greatest dance scenes in all of cinema. It's not salsa, it's not tango, it's Desi Nach. I don't care for musicals, but this just slaps. Go on Spotify and listen to Naacho Naacho. You will not regret it. This song is gonna be in my Spotify rap. They have a dance-off and they're getting sturdier than my mental health. The women join in and eventually everyone is getting down. One by one, people fall from the lack of swagger and it's down to our two Giga Chads versus the nerd in a mighty dance-off. The two obviously win since white men can't dance. Raju sees Jenny wanting Beam to win, so he fakes a leg cramp so Beam can get the bag. Beam hops in Jenny's car and takes him to her house. They end up running into this dude again, and he has got to stop being racist. He gets dunked on by Jenny for being a fazul, then brings Beam to sit down. She gets up to get food, and he hears the little girl singing. Beam goes to look for her, and when he finds her, he promises to come back to save her. Meanwhile, Raju tortures Beam's friend from earlier to find out who he's looking for, but can't accept that it's Beam. He catches a poisonous snake in his hand and uses it as a weapon. Raju gets bit and realizes he's in trouble, and now he's just like, you know what? Get out of here. So he frees the guy, then passes out in the village where Beam finds him and comes to the rescue to save his life. Now, Raju is feeling every emotion that your therapist tells you to feel. He's sad, frustrated, distraught. He can't believe that Beam is the guy he's been looking for. This story just tears apart any hope that I would have a bromance like what they had. He takes out his anger on a punching bag, but moves to a wall to harness his inner Kyle by repeatedly punching holes into the brick wall. A British ceremony is going on, and an Indiana Jones-sized truck crashes the party and does some Need for Speed drifting. The drifting unveils the bed of the truck, which is full of wild beasts and Beam. This man is my idol. You already know he's going to drastically change people's lives for the worse by sending them to the hospital, then their hospital bill is half the price of their mortgage, so they ask their doctor, why is the price so high? And then all they have to say is, the beasts are set free and go wild on the British officers. Beam starts swinging officers around like nunchucks and chucks a big kitty at another one while simultaneously dodging a tiger. Who is this man? How is he somewhat single? He stops his rampage to make sure Jenny is safe and continues his tirade. Then Mr. Racist throws the little girl in the house and tries to fight Beam, but just gets his shit rocked. Beam absolutely annihilates the douche. He tries to use a chain on him, but Beam counters it and proceeds to beat the ever-living daylights out of him. He deserves all of that. He gets the keys to the house, but uh-oh, here comes Raju, and he's mad. He's riding in on a flaming carriage. Who thinks of this? This movie's awesome. He hops off right in time for the carriage to flip and hit Beam. Raju Giga Chad walks towards Beam and tries to arrest him, but Beam resists. He can't believe that his bromance is gone. Beam says that he needs to save the girl, but Raju isn't having it. Raju hits him with a brutal gut punch and is followed by a heavy backhand, which knocks the keys into the sewer, and now the bro-off begins. He grabs Raju by the crotch and throws him into the yard. Beam grabs a metal chess piece looking thing and smashes a fountain trying to hit Raju. Raju, being a god, skillfully dodges the fatal blow, but honestly, he probably would have caught it if he didn't dodge it because homie is goated with the sauce. This is some Avengers level threat, but these fight scenes are better than every Marvel movie combined. Beam is just taking punch after punch, but all he needs is one flick to send Raju flying. These guys are the world's best trained martial artists. They're blocking every hit. Fireworks start going off, and now this is where the Fire Nation and the Water Benders come to die. Raju takes fire, Beam takes water, and it's a battle to the death, but Beam escapes and climbs the building to get to the backyard where the little girl is. Raju throws a potted plant at Beam and has the opportunity to murder him, but Raju doesn't go through with it. On the other hand, Beam grows his Wolverine claws and stabs him in the heart, but he's somehow still alive and runs at Beam, so he pulls out his Indiana Jones whip and lassos him in midair. Now that Raju has captured Beam, he gets promoted to special officer. He gets a flashback to when he was a kid and his dad ran a resistance camp. He shows his dad that he has insanely good aim, like phase level aim. It's that good. Then the next morning, the British attack and Raju's father ends up getting shot. Raju fires back and it has the aim of a god. He just can't miss. Phase, recruit this guy immediately. The dad pretends to surrender to the British, but acts as a bomb by strapping a bunch of bombs to his entire body and having his son blow him up. Cut back to reality, Raju plans to get justice. The British are shamed by their leader for getting bodied, so the captain tells Raju to beat Beam enough so no one will ever dare try to fight back ever again. This was a hard scene to watch. Raju whips Beam repeatedly, and the queen complains that there isn't enough blood, so she throws him her favorite Mousketool. Look at how ruthless this whip is. Beam, being the Chad he is, casually sings throughout the whippings like it's nothing. The beatings get worse, and Beam does doesn't kneel. The spiky whip tears at Beam's skin, and the Brits are like, that's not enough, so they hold him back against the pillar and beat him with their rods. Still, our legend doesn't kneel. They chain his feet and anchor him to a big stone and lift him in the air so the cuffs dig into his ankle. Even after the crucifixion treatment, Beam is still singing. Once he kneels, everyone decides to fight back and start a riot. The British general wants Beam dead, so Raju, being the slippery son of a bitch he is, breaks into the armory and defects all of their guns before they're used to execute Beam. The general thanks Raju for the amount of work that he's been putting in and shakes his hand, but notices blood residue. Bix forgot to use OxyClean. On the day of execution, a bunch of shit goes down. A tree falls on the general's car and tosses him in the air, where he grabs a gun and quick scopes the tire off of Raju's vehicle, which sends him and the little girl flying. Raju gets impaled and lives because he's just built different. Meanwhile, Beam breaks free and kicks everybody's asses. A soldier fixes his gun and tries to take the shot on Beam, but Raju finds the perfect opportunity to take him out. Beam, not realizing who he was trying to shoot, slaps him with a log and kills Raju. Why? Raju was my favorite character, and he just dies like that? What the fuck? Just kidding. While on the ground, Raju holds back the other guards, preventing them from chasing Beam, and gets himself arrested. Raju is now in prison, and he's only getting fed once a week. The Brits start shitting their trousers when they see him grinding his ass off to smash their skull in. Big Ben feels threatened and has people break his legs, then lock him in an underground cell. Then this man still finds a way to exercise. All of you whose New Year's resolutions were to go to the gym and have fallen off are weak. Work out everywhere you are. The world is your gym. Don't have a bench lift? Pick up your bed. Don't have a shake weight? Jerk off. The British are looking for Beam in a village, but a girl lies to them and says that they have smallpox, which leads the soldiers to evacuate. Beam finally learns from one of the village people that Raju broke all of the guns and that his original plan was to save him. So now Beam is breaking into the military base hitman style to save Raju. Beam hits the floor waiting to hear Raju hit back. I don't know why he didn't just put his hands through the grate. I know his legs are broken, but he has more than enough room to poke his fingers through. Plus, he was doing pull-ups. I know for a fact he could have used one arm to lift himself up the tiniest bit. Beam breaks Raju free and yells for no reason, which alerts the guards, so now they have another banger scene where they have to kill a bunch of people. Since Raju can't walk, he gets lifted onto Beam's shoulders to fuse the ultimate Chad and take out the entire military like they're the Terminator. They're mowing through the guards like they're dominoes. Nothing's stopping them. They climb up to a tower and perform a move that defies the law of gravity. They kick the guy off the tower and float away to escape the base. It's amazing how realistic this movie is. They go into the forest so Beam can grab some natural remedies to fix Raju's broken leg like any sane human does. Hey doc, my legs are broken. While Beam is drinking water, he sees an arrow take out a guard, and it turns into an all-out battle. Then Raju comes out like the god he is and shoots a flaming arrow that sets half of the military on fire. This man is the greatest trick shotter to ever exist. He shoots a tree, and you may be thinking that this man missed a shot. This man never misses a shot. How dare you doubt his abilities? He just kicks it in further into the tree. I want to see him fight John Wick. I don't know who will win that fight, but I want it to happen. Now Raju puts grenades on his arrows to have that god-tier knockback effect on his bow. Name a better duo than Raju and Beam. I'll wait. Tom and Jerry ain't got shit on these two man whores. A motorcycle gets out of control and it's about to hit Beam, but that's not gonna do anything. How dare you drive a motorcycle in his direction? He catches the motorcycle and uses it as a baseball bat, then throws it at one of the military leaders and stabs him in the stomach. Now all of a sudden it's daytime and Beam rides the motorcycle like it's nothing into the British castle. Raju fires a gnarly flaming arrow so it can catch on fire, and it lands perfectly in a room full of explosives. Then the entire castle comes crumbling down. The queen is left dead hanging above her husband, which she deserved to die. She was a bad person. Raju and Beam meet up together and shoot Big Ben with an arrow and pin him to the rubble. All Raju needs is one bullet to take him out. He gives it to Beam and he shoots him directly in the heart, just like in Sniper Elite. Now the movie's over, and what better way to end this journey than with another musical number? See, wasn't I right? Wasn't this one of the greatest journeys of a lifetime? What was your favorite part? Mine's both the greatest intro of all of cinema when Raju uses his mighty rod against all of India, and of course it's gotta be when he gets jiggy with it. Ah crap, I can't reference that anymore. I don't want to get slapped. I think Raju and Beam can take on any superhero and live. So what if a random superhero shoots them with a laser beam? They'll find a way to reflect it using their brodacious swag. There needs to be a sequel so we can see more of what these two get up to. Obviously, they're eternal beings, so having a modern RRR isn't out of the question. If they don't make it, I'm gonna have to. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because I have plenty more movies to show you. If you haven't watched my last video, it's about the weirdest show that's ever been on TV. This show belongs in the back rooms, or in a deep dark hole in the ground. Thank you for 730 subscribers, and whatever you're doing, wherever you are, watch the movie!